Hey, this is Pastor R.D. Wade. Thank you for checking out Wade's Word of the Day. Make sure that you subscribe. Click on the bell for the notifications. Let's go. Yeah, here we go. Hey, one of my favorite guests that has been with us throughout the journey has been Liz Bullard. And I wanted, I thought about everybody who I could bring in, but I wanted to bring Liz back into the space. She was actually one of the early supporters, right? I reached out to her. I said, Liz, I'm doing this new thing. Would you be willing to just come in and talk about what I want to talk about? And she was gracious enough to come into the space and share with us. And I want to bring her back tonight. She cut a video for us, and the video was a little low. So I wanted to bring her back live and indirect and let her share with us tonight. Y'all make her feel welcome as she comes into the space. Miss Liz Bullard. Liz, what's going on?
Hello. I'm so glad to be here. Congratulations.
Yes, man. Yes. I did your name to this, early thing called Wade's Word of the Day. And wow. Yeah. And so I just want to sit back, let you share with us for a little bit, talk to us about maybe the impact of Wade's Word of the Day, the impact of, the work that we're doing together. And all of that kind of stuff. Just bless the people. Whatever, whatever's on your heart. You ain't got to be all deep and spiritual, but just because tonight I don't want to be deep. Tonight I just want to.
You just want to celebrate.
I just want to celebrate. But if you want to be deep, go ahead.
No, once again, just congratulations. It is not easy. I think a lot of people, they think like, okay, get up here, I'm gonna do it. But to come every day in the thick of the pandemic, like you started day one, encouraging, and a lot of people talk about, pray for our pastors because they've never had to teach through a pandemic before. And we all went through this, and it's no small thing to be going through your own struggles as a person and as a family, and then pouring out into other people and pouring out your energy and your heart and your soul. And so to be here 1 year later, growing and building, it is fantastic. And to be able to celebrate with you, it's just amazing. And it's a feat that I'm just glad I can share with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't even think about it in that moment, It is tough work. It's tough work to sit in this space every night. Sometimes when you're going through what you're going through, right?
Yes.
Because 2020 was filled with a lot of those emotions, right? Anger, frustration, sadness, because we all know somebody who went through some things, right? In 2021, and then to show up in space and be vulnerable in some moments. I mean, some moments I couldn't hold back what I was feeling, the pain. I couldn't put a smile on it. I had to, just really talk about what I was dealing with in that moment. And I know you do that in the space that you operate in, and it requires a lot of courage. Because we live in a world full of people who love to put on airs, right? And so to come into this space, people just see
and be authentic.
People see your flaws. They see when your video don't work right. They see when your face is blurry. They see the pain on your face, right? And then sometimes you be like, come on, talk to me, come on to the scene. No, I ain't together tonight.
Right. It's like, don't leave me hanging. Yeah,
it's amazing. What it takes really to to show up in space, carrying your stuff and your baggage, but things. Here are 4 things that you can do, whatever that subject matter was. and then to begin to see folk, pick up the lingo. You picking up what I'm putting down, and I would see it in their
That's
space.
my favorite.
Yeah, and just all of that kind of, all of those particular things, and the pace, all of that is really just it's amazing. And so, man, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but I am so.
Let me tell you, to have a good base of audience and fans that are loyal, let me tell you, there is no better feeling than like when people tell you your creative work is good. Like, so audience members, like every time you participate, every time you give feedback, like for people that are hosting and that they're up there, like that is awesome. Because like you're leaving a little bit of yourself like on the stage every time you're up there. So that's always good to have that feedback and to see people receive it well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then to see the videos. So let's talk about what it takes to do what we do. What has been for you some of the challenging, starting a podcast, figuring out the content that you want to talk about. What has been refreshing? What has been difficult? What has been hard for you?
Oh my gosh, that's a loaded question, because you go in thinking like this is going to be easy, right? You're just in front of a mic, you're talking, you're just going to be you. But it really morphs into something. The more confident you get, the more you have a direction. Like you have this idea of, I want to put something out, and you do that. And then when people listen, it's like, whoa. And then when you see there's a lot of people listening or a lot of people responding, that's refreshing. Combating some of that self-doubt when there are those periods where you're putting out good stuff, but then there's nobody there. And because it takes time to build up those followers. So anyone out there who is like, I want to start something, but where do I start? Just do it. Just do it. I don't care if no one likes it, if no one shares it, just do it. Keep putting it out there, because you will build up people, you will build up followers. But number one, you got to believe in yourself. You got to show yourself some grace from those days when you mess up, like Pastor Wade talked about. Sometimes the camera doesn't do right, technology fails. We've all been on those Zoom calls where it just doesn't work. And so showing yourself some grace and finding that area and finding your content that you want to put out. I mean, just trust yourself.
Yeah, it really is about